Betty Hill, now 78 and fondly referred to as the grandmother of UFO abductees, will not make the 50th anniversary of Roswell. But her belief that a flying saucer went down in that desert has never wavered. In many ways, she says, it was just an ordinary UFO crash, carrying travelers much like those who encountered Betty and her deceased husband, Barney.
September 19, 1961. Barney and I driving home from Montreal, saw a strange light in the sky, which changed direction, came in, started following us. In an area known as Indian Head, it came out over the highway, stopped in midair, and Barney got out with the binoculars in an attempt to identify this craft. You know, the old-fashioned straw hats that men used to wear, the flat crown and the brim, that's what it was shaped like. And then along one side, it had a big, big picture window. And it had dividers in it. And as he's looking up at it, and he could see people standing in the windows looking down at him, and the craft began to descend, and he had the feeling they were trying to kidnap him. He ran back to the car. We went speeding down the highway to avoid capture, and then later, they were standing in the middle of the road, blocking our way. This is what we saw when the car motor stalled out.
I see.
And they're separating and coming up towards us.
This is your view, then, of the UFO people from out your car window?
Right.
Okay, so I count.
This is our first view.
This is about a half dozen there.
Actually, there were 11.
Talk to me about the features in here and what you remember. I mean, look at this one's face in particular. Tell me what we see there.
You can see they're very human appearing.
Yeah.
Only here, you know, the eyes are wider spaced than ours.
Okay.
See?
Right.
The nose is smaller and a thin slit for a mouth. No hair, no protruding part of the ear. We were taken on board, and we were told to relax, no harm was going to come to us. And we did. And they did some testing of both Barney and me, and showed me the star map of where they were from. There it is.
Yep. Well, okay. This is the map you drew.
Yep.
Now, this is amazing, because how much did you know about astronomy?
Not a thing. About 6 weeks later, Barney and I had gone out in the evening, and when we came home, on the kitchen table was a pile of dried leaves, which wasn't there when we left. And when I went to clean up the pile of dried leaves, there was my blue earrings I was wearing that night. See, the experience itself happened in 1961, but it was not known until a Boston newspaper reporter found out about it. And it ran for 5 days on the front pages of the Boston newspaper. I went on TV. I was questioned by F. Lee Bailey. And then I sat down and had lie detector testing in front of the whole country. And I had very, very high ratings for honesty and truthfulness.
Whether you believe her or not, Betty still gets letters from well-wishers and UFO investigators the world over.
This is an investigator from France.
Sometimes there'll be a knock on her door, a fan dropping by for an autograph. And every once in a while, Betty will step out on the back porch to get a glimpse of what she claims is another visitor from far away.